it says but like it's just cool like to see that coming here to Philly and seeing all that representation and people knowing what Cambodian is, and it's such a norm over here, and it's such a big difference between Texas and over here. So I don't know. I feel that it's growing a lot, like with the representation from when you experienced it to now. That's like what a while ago.
Oh yeah. My sister owned a corner store when I was in high school, and I remember distinctly growing up. They kept calling us Chinese, like no matter what kind of Asian you're Chinese.
It didn't matter what kind of Asian. You were that was just like the easy way to say Asian.
Yeah,
you say Chinese.
And
in most languages too, not just in the English language. Like I know with Mexicans, that's like they may not even mean it in a bad way, but that's just how they're raised to call everybody Chino.
Yeah. And in the corner store, what had happened was I was in there, and one of the kids were there, and they kept calling some of the kids Cambodian, like, the Cambodian kid, the Cambodian sir, the Cambodian. Like, they're not all Cambodian, there's other types of Asians. And I felt good because it was like, damn, they just think everything's Cambodian now versus everything's Chinese. I think that we came a little far.
I would have people who were like trying their best.
Yeah.
And they didn't really know what they were doing. So they were trying to be like, let's not call everybody Chinese. But all they had to do was like, what's the right word to call everybody that looks like you? But they would just be like, what, they would just ask you. Can you go to the Laos store? I'm like, it's not the Laos store. Like it's like you want to say the Asian store because you don't know what they are, but then you just assume like, what are you? Are you Portuguese? Can you go to the Portuguese store? And it was like, that's not how it works.
Like some people don't, and it's what's crazy was like what you said about people not understanding the difference between Cambodian or Asian. Like I've like even in college I've experienced people asking me, whether I'm whether I'm I guess Chinese or Asian. I'm just like, how do people get this far in life not know the difference between a country and continent? Race and ethnicity. I'm just like, and like I think I had to break it down to one of my friends one time between like a country, a continent, race, and ethnicity, and like I had to break it down between like a sausage, like a party sausage. Like a sausage is one meat, but it's filled with a bunch of other meats inside that sausage. So it's like you just have to think of it that way. Like Asian. If you're calling someone Asian, you're generalizing them. But there's different kinds of other Asian ethnicities inside.
Sure.
Term Asian.
So I used to run a youth program here at CAGP 10 years ago, and one of the first few meetings was always that: what is the difference between nationality, race, and ethnicity? And that was a fun way to get them an introduction around the world of sociology, right? And again, it's constructed, so it might mean something different to other people. So may I ask you both, what's your nationality, what's your race, and what's your ethnicity? And let's see what you say.
Nationality is...
I'll help, and I'll
just answer.
Just answer. Don't explain yourself.
It.
Just say it.
Nationality, I would say American.
Okay, and then what's your race?
Asian.
And then what's your ethnicity?
Cambodian.
What's your answer?
Same thing. American. Race is Asian, and ethnicity is Khmer.
So that's the way.
But when people would try to ask me what is my nationality, and I'd be like American, and then I'm trying to be a smartass. I'm like, you're trying to ask me for my ethnicity? Is that what you're trying to ask? And then I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm like, I mean, if you're gonna go ask strangers these things, know the terms.
Yes.
Like if you're gonna be like, what's your nationality? And then be mad when they say American.
It's
like, well, that's the correct answer.
Yeah.
If you want to know the ethnicity, learn the word.
Yeah.
Like the first thing they're just like, where are you from? I'm just like, Dallas.
Yeah.
I know.
They get like turned off.
I love when they ask me where I'm from South Philly.
Yeah, that's what I be like. I'm from South Philly. No, where you from?
And they're like, no,
South
where
Philly.
where you really from?
Snyder? What do you know?
Like, what do you want to know?
What street? What block? What?
Yeah. I've had someone like, they know. I guess they know they are ignorant to that fact. So, but they don't want to be offensive. So he would just ask me. He's like, "Do you know?" Like he was trying to ask me if I know how to speak Khmer, but he was like, he didn't know what ethnicity it was. He was just like, "Do you know how to speak the language where your parents are from?"
It's the trailer's on and it gets interesting. I'm like, it's not on. I can't listen to it.
What trailers?
I can't listen to the whole story.
That's a tease to make you go.
I know. That's what I do. I usually put it on when I'm going for my run or for my walk, and I just listen to you guys.
I usually put the whole show on once I put the trailers.
Yeah.
Oh, at that moment, you mean?
But at that moment, I'm like, it stopped. Like, what's that?
What was I saying?
back to
speaking.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
language of where your parents.
Yeah,
are
it's like I guess he didn't want to be offensive, but he didn't know what I was either. So he was just like, "Do you know how to speak the language that your parents are from?" But I was like, but I appreciate that, him trying and being I guess polite about it, but rather than being, I'd rather him just say it like that than just be like, "Hey, are you Chinese?
Sure.
Or do you speak
Yeah.
Chinese?" First of all, you can't just say, "Do you speak Chinese?"
Yeah.
But that was.
No, but see, but you get used to those questions, so like sometimes you just already have the answer for it. So people will come and be like, "Do you speak?" Like there's the on King of the Hill, there's like that famous reference, like, do you speak Chinese or Japanese? And so I always get the same thing too, where it's like they give me the two languages. They're like, do you speak Korean or like it'll be like, do you speak Korean or Japanese? And I'll be like, those are my only two choices, right? And then it catches them off guard, right? Because they're sort of like, they thought they were asking like a very unique. Open worldly question, and I'm like, those are my only two choices.
Yeah.
But what's crazy was like I get excited when they actually name a Southeast Asian country that it may not even be mine, but like the fact that they know a Southeast Asian country, like, do you speak Chinese, Japanese, or Vietnamese? I'm just like, you're close, but no.
Yeah.
It's like at least they're getting there, at least, or Thai. They would say Thai or Vietnamese. It's usually those two countries. Like I rarely ever hear Cambodian. I rarely ever hear Lao sometimes.
I don't know. They always be like, "What ease do you speak? What
ease?
Yeah, what ease do you speak?
What ease?
I'm what the hell?
Vietnamese,
Like Japanese, Vietnamese, Chinese, Taiwan. I'm like,
I speak
what?
Indian.
I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I speak Khmer. That's not an ease.
When I had to stop saying Laotian because people would be like, "Oh, where's Laotia?"
Laos.
So you have to be like, okay, I'm just gonna say Lao, and then they'll be like, where is that? And I'm like, okay, I'd rather you be like, where is that, than be like, oh, where is Laotia?
I'm always the show. I was like, just show them a little area, that little dot right there. That's us. But is Lao bigger than Cambodia, or is Cambodia, or are they about the same size? Because Lao is like kind of like
different shape. Yeah,
it's a different shape.
It's hard to tell because like I think Cambodia is more like
we're like a circle.
Yeah, like more circular, and then us.
It's like my birthmark.
We're like
Stupid.
Laos looks like a palm tree that has like a little bit of the roots. Yeah. So it's like it's hard to tell the size because it's like spread differently.
Yeah.
And also the terrain of where you can live is a little harder in Laos because there's more mountainous
There's like
areas.
mountains. There's like there's like river.
There's more mountains there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because it's on the edge, right?
So on top of Laos, I think is Thailand and Myanmar, and then to the right is Vietnam, and then I think lower left is Cambodia. So we have like, because we're longer, I think we have like more I guess I don't know what to even call it, like terrain, different kinds of variety. Yeah.
So is it like, you think it's like more colder in Laos than Cambodia? Just for like,
well, there is mountains. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think if you live in the mountains, it's colder there. But I think for the most part, I think the weather's the same.